Welcome all you +2 comedy modifiers to, I don't know, not stay doomed, to a bonus episode of the podcast, to a +2 comedy extra, something, I don't know. I'm tired. But thank you so much for joining me for this video. I just want to sit and talk to you guys for a moment. First off, no stay doomed this week because I am exhausted. This week we did Otakon and we did New Jersey GamerCon, and we just have had no time to sit down and record. And the little bits of time we have had to record, we've been real tired and grumpy, so the episode wouldn't have been very good. So trust me, it's better if we save. So instead, I'm going to take a little bit of time to talk to you guys about what went down at Otakon and New Jersey GamerCon. It's been a while since we did like a con report, so here's a con report coming to you. First and foremost, we did Beyond the Tentacle down in Otakon. Down at Otakon. In Otakon? We were in Otakon. Either works. But we did our brand new version of Beyond the Tentacle, Update Your Antivirus. And I just want to take some time to talk about this one because this one was very special. So it's looking like this is going to be our last Beyond the Tentacle. At least our last Beyond the Tentacle at Otakon. And I told that to the people that were there, and I just want to shed some light on why we've made this decision, why we've decided this. So first off, I don't want you guys to think that like we don't enjoy doing Beyond the Tentacle. We love doing Beyond the Tentacle. It's one of my absolute favorite things to do is Beyond the Tentacle. But the way that we're currently being booked at Otakon is we're not guests, we're just panelists, so we don't get hotel, we don't get travel, we don't get paid, we don't get anything. So we're just kind of doing it for the exposure, and we could no longer like feasibly handle doing that because we're actually turning down doing shows to do Otakon. And, you know, shows that want to pay us, shows that want to give us hotels and things like that. So it's a little bit of an awkward situation there. And on top of that, we have gotten to this weird point where we're only getting booked to do Beyond the Tentacle at Otakon. We're no longer getting booked to do stand-up. We've never been booked to do Game the Gamer. I know that that's kind of outside the realm of anime, and that's what they want to stay focused on. But we're only getting booked to do Beyond the Tentacle. We're not getting any of our other things out there that we really want to get eyes on. And this is not me complaining about Otakon. Otakon can do whatever they want. I understand completely why they would choose just Beyond the Tentacle and not our other stuff. I think our stand-up would offer a great show to Otakon. But I think when push comes to shove, Otakon feels like giving us that spot, giving us that comedy show, will not sell another ticket. On the other hand, something like Beyond the Tentacle, which is now like a namesake there at Otakon, we have people that come every year to see Beyond the Tentacle. So having that on the schedule is something that actually brings people in. The issue becomes then that I am a comedian, and I want to be known as a comedian. I don't want to be known as the porn guy. I don't mind doing Beyond the Tentacle, and I like it being one of our things that we do. I am starting to feel weird that it's the thing we do. Like, I'd like when I meet someone from Otakon for them to come up and say, oh, it's Noah from +2 Comedy. Not, it's Noah from that weird fetish I learned about. So we've decided that that will probably be the last one. I'm not going to say it 100% it is, because things change, and who knows where I'll be in a year. Who knows where +2 Comedy will be in a year. Who knows where Otakon will be in a year. I don't know. Probably DC. But we were making the decision that this is something we're going to kind of pull back from doing so that we can focus on our other projects. Game the Gamer's not out yet. We really want to get that out. We want to focus on comedy. We want to focus on, getting out into other conventions. And we want to focus on not losing money every time we do a con. That being said, man, did we want to go out with a bang. And I don't think anyone knew this, but there's a lot of like little special things that were included in this Beyond the Tentacle that made it special for me. So I want to take you through that journey here. We're also going to talk about fetishes, so get comfortable, kiddos. I said get comfortable, kiddos. Don't leave. If you're a kiddo, get out of here. We're going to talk about dirty stuff. Get out. Yeah. Skip to later when we talk about New Jersey GamerCon. So if you've never been to Beyond the Tentacle, the idea is everybody knows that tentacles are very popular in Japan. But there's so much beyond that. So we go beyond the tentacle every single year, and we present what else is dirty in Japan. This year we called it Update Your Antivirus because this is the last year for this computer. My computer, which is just, it's seen some things. So now it's time to let it retire. The way Beyond the Tentacle works is we introduce a new fetish, and then we usually show a video, or we play a game, or we do both. The first game that we played, besides our opening rally everybody up game, was Gamma Koa, where Gamma Koa is watching a woman be pleasured. But you only see her face, you don't see any of the stuff going on. So we had a fake Gamma Koa competition where we brought up contestants and they stuck their head through a poster board so you could only see her face and had them fake it. Those of you who are in depth with the history of Plus 2 comedy, which I doubt is any of you, but the very first game we played, Beyond the Tentacle 1, was the Gamma Koa game. So I kind of like this nice book ending that we did, where the final Beyond the Tentacle and the first Beyond the Tentacle have the same game that starts everything off. It kind of kicked everything into motion, was this idea. There's also My White Whale, which is mechophilia, which is being turned on by cars. This has been on the list of things to talk about since the first Beyond the Tentacle. And I've never successfully come up with a good game. I've had ideas for games, but they were never good. And I never found a really good video to go along with this. So it was something I never got to talk about. But we finally found a video, and it was actually a car commercial. It was very odd.
The 2008 Trier Saltaire.
Part of this Beyond the Tentacle was conquering something I've been trying to conquer for years, which was to cover this weird car fetish. I have weird goals. Then there's also this feeling of redemption. There was a game that we played, I think it was Tentacle 4 or 5, that was the ball busting game, where contestants wore a plastic bag with eggs in them. And the idea was to smash your partner's eggs as sexily as possible. And it was basically people getting kicked in the groin. And we quickly realized that we had made a huge error in what people will do when they're volunteers on Beyond the Tentacle. So I always wanted to fix that game. And this year we did. Instead of having it be on a living person, we put it on a stuffed Mario, and we broke Mario's testicles. That's what I call success. And finally, we end every year with the worst video we could find. The video that I played is actually from Tentacle 1. So again, that nice little bit of bookending where we were taking the same video that we used all those years ago. I don't want to say how many. We used all those years ago, and we stuck it at the end. So again, I like that nice book endings and stuff like that. So to me, there was a little emotional through line that I don't think many of the fans knew. But hey, if you were there, I was dealing with some stuff going through this. Isn't that fun to know? You're learning things. Hand check. So as we close the chapter here on Beyond the Tentacle, I want to repeat that it's not that I hate doing it. It's just that I want to be known as a comedian before I'm known as the porn guy. And I'm not trying to bash Otakon for not booking our other programming. Otakon, I completely understand that I'm sitting here thinking about half a percent of your con. I'm thinking about the 1 hour in the one room where we would do comedy. And Otakon has to think about an entire weekend worth of stuff. So I know that there's 100 good reasons why they don't book us to do that. It's just that when we do Beyond the Tentacle, and that's the only thing that we're booked there, it's not financially responsible for us to also get a hotel room if we're only going down there for one show. So what we end up doing is we live up in Jersey. We drove 3 hours. We left at 6 o'clock. We drove 3 hours to get to the con, to get our badges before registration closed. Got something quickly to eat. Did the show at midnight. The show ended at 1. We hung out a little bit to talk to people. We left at 2. And then we drove all the way home 3 hours. And got home at 5. And as my love for doing this is high, but I know it's irresponsible for me to be doing that to my body and my mental state. It's just not a good idea. So that being said, thank you to everyone who came out and saw us at Otakon, whether it been this year or any year. We loved hanging out with you psychos. I just love calling you psychos as well. We had a lot of fun. There's been some things that have happened at Beyond the Tentacle that blow my mind in terms of like how outrageous the crowd can get. Things that I won't repeat because that breaks the bond that we have here at Beyond the Tentacle. But thank you so much for coming. After the show, a gentleman actually came up and showed me all of his badges from Otakon and said that he's been to Beyond the Tentacle every year we've run it. And Beyond the Tentacle is something that I feel like, especially at Otakon, we get the most outreach about. I always say, like, tell me what you learned, but that's not really what people want to talk to me about. But we've had people come up to me and say, like, thank you so much for doing something that I look forward to every year. Thank you so much for making my convention. This is why I do Otakon. Thank you for opening my eyes to something that I didn't know was out there. I don't know if that's a thank you or an apology. Thank you all so much for coming and making the hours I spend putting together a smutty PowerPoint worth it. So thank you all so much for coming. That being said, Plus 2 Comedy don't stop. We then went to New Jersey GamerCon in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. So Saturday, we drag ourselves out of bed and we headed over to Cherry Hill's Crown Plaza Hotel for New Jersey Gamer. This con was great. It was not very packed. It was very much just like a very chill day hanging out with people I like. So I got to see Square Painter. I got to see the people from another video game con. I got to see Trailer Drake, who's a good friend of mine. And even people that are not friends, but like people I'm a fan of. Peanut Butter Gamer was just roaming the halls. Like, I just walked by him and gave him a high five, and that was our interaction. I was like, cool. So if you're sleeping on New Jersey GamerCon, check this one out, because this is going to become something special very soon. So after checking out everybody and hanging out and talking to the con staff, we went to the rave. So at midnight, we were raving. So despite our bodies being tired and broken, we had to go check out the Big Bad Bosses concert. I'm a big fan of the Completionist, so being able to see the Big Bad Bosses live in concert, super cool. That's the way we do the rave. That's the way the game is played. No one's coming to your aid. Never let the music fade. That's the way we do the rave. But the show was not over with Big Bad Bosses, as DJ Cutman just stayed on stage and rocked out for a bit. So it became a rave. And we're all just hanging out, dancing to DJ Cutman until like well after midnight. Despite the fact that I didn't get in until 5 a.m. the night before, I was not to be denied. My knees hurt. My knees really hurt today. So I went back on Sunday and I hung out with Trailer Drake the whole time. I love Trailer Drake. He's one of my favorite people I meet at conventions. I checked out his Who's That Pokemon panel where he sang for some reason. Catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the net, searching far and wide. Teach Pokemon to understand. Oh, you have 15 seconds left. Had a lot of fun there, and then we also went to his Drakes on Drakes panel where we learned how to be a YouTuber. Fantastic quality panels all over New Jersey GamerCon. If you're just looking for fun, if you wanted to meet some of your favorite celebrities from the YouTubes, or if you wanted a good informational panel, they had it all at New Jersey GamerCon. It was a fantastic time. Definitely glad I went, and will definitely be going back next year. So that's how I spent my summer vacation. That's what I did for the past weekend. And instead of recording a Stay Doomed episode. But look, content still coming directly into your faces. So please subscribe here on YouTube, and I promise you we will get the next Stay Doomed episode to you next week. I'm really tired, guys. Really, really tired. So please understand that I was tired because I was driving around all of God's creation, showing pornography to people. So that's it. That's what happened with Plus 2 Comedy this week. This is why we were too tired to do Stay Doomed. We were too busy at Otakon, New Jersey GamerCon. It was a good time. Don't get me wrong. I had a blast. I'm just very sleepy now. So I thought it'd be easier to just do this quick video, update you, still give you some content into your faces, and hope you all are having a great day. I don't know how to end videos. Like, that's the hardest thing for me, is ending a video.